and that. And then we should be live.
Anyone out there?
I think we are.
Supposedly have a good signal tonight, so that's good.
Yeah.
Somebody say hi. I think it's probably nice everywhere, so everyone's out playing. Hey, Stivers. Congratulations on the 1,000 subscribers. Hi, Hesitant Homesteader, Changing One's Farm, Inside Kate's Kitchen, Country Homestead Preacher. Hey. How are you guys doing tonight?
Made me nervous when people weren't saying anything right away.
Yeah.
I had a lot of computer problems tonight.
Yeah.
OBS was giving me fits.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Michigan Daffodil. Hey, Thales.
I think I'm about ready to scrap the MacBook Pro for OBS. The last update that came out for OBS was terrible.
Yeah. Hey, Citystead. Hey, Michigan Mike. Deborah.
So next week, between now and next week, we need to get this other laptop set up and get it tested and make sure everything works.
But does it have a camera?
Yep.
Oh.
But we're probably not going to use that one. Mm-hmm. We're going to use a different camera, external camera with an external mic.
Stiver said that they had a hard time on their Mac last night, too. Yes, it was such a beautiful day, even way up here in the north. I got home, I think it was 41, but there was no wind. The sun was shining, and it just felt like spring. Hey, Valerie. Hey, FF wife. The cartoon of you two? No.
Oh, our little thumbnail?
I don't know.
That one?
Oh, that the sun was bright, maybe? Yeah. Okay, Michigan Daffodil. Hi, Meg. How are you? So we have so much content to share because it was so fun outside. So we got pictures of everything that we were doing today after work. 85 in South Texas. Oh, my gosh. That seems like forever away still here. We don't touch those numbers till possibly late June, but usually July, August.
What's he doing?
The dog's trying to make a bed back there on the couch. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, I was just wondering if Two Family was going to show up, and they must be tied up in their stream.
Yeah, maybe.
One of these days we're going to have to pick another moderator.
Yeah.
Because they get busy with their own thing.
Right.
Because they have a live stream right before ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they get tied up sometimes, so.
Yeah, daylight savings time wasn't hard for me this year. It was hard for Todd, but it wasn't for me at all. I don't know why. I mean, that first morning, so Monday morning when I got up to do chores before I went to work, I was like, why is it so dark out? Just like completely forgot about it. And it's like usually the sun's just barely peeking like its highlights above the horizon when I do chores around 6 a.m. And it was pitch black still. And I'm just beating my head against the wall like, what is going on? And I'm walking back up to the house and I'm like, it's daylight savings time. It's an hour ahead. Why isn't it light out? And then I remembered what that meant.
The other way around.
Right.
We get free time in the evenings.
Yeah. Everyone's just talking about how nice their weather is. Hey, Start from Seed Homestead. Welcome. Hey, Bree. All right, go ahead. Start off the show.
start
You're
off the show?
Squeaking and
What?
squeaking.
I don't know why.
Don't do that because that's terrible. Don't do that.
Apparently I can't move tonight because if I do, I make noise. So I apologize. I came home from work today a few minutes early, not super early. And it was nice outside, so I came in the house, I let the dogs out, and I went right back outside to the garage to try to... had some more cleaning to do. Seems like my workbench gets covered very quickly with just stuff. I think the blankets from the bees, when we took the bees off, I had to fold up the blankets and put them away, and did some cleaning and organizing, and then I started working on the tractor, but we'll get to that in a second. Chickens, they were all out today having a blast, running around in the sunlight. Like we said, it was only 42, 41 degrees or something?
Yeah.
But the sun was out and there was no wind.
Yes.
And everyone was having fun.
And I know I have a bunch of clutter in my chicken run right now. I never picked up in the fall when I moved to the winter waters out there. So I'm a bad chicken owner, I guess. It's a mess but I'll clean it up, I promise.
The goats were out lounging by their feeder.
Oh, yeah, that always makes me happy. They've had to be so cooped up this winter. And there's been so much snow. And a lot of people show their goats hate snow. I guess maybe it just depends on where they're raised. Our goats definitely don't hate snow. They're out running around playing in it, but they definitely don't like the rain. So it makes me happy when they're out just lounging in the snow.
Yeah, they got a couple people joining us from Two Family Homestead. Maybe their stream just ended. Welcome.
Yeah, somebody said their stream just ended.
Who else was out and about? Miss Abigail decided to go get the goats, and she leashed them up and took them for a walk around the yard. I think they stopped at that big tree that's right behind her.
Oh, they were over here at the big bush.
No, the big tree that's right behind her is a big, big, big pine tree. And when she walked them over there, they were eating all the pine cones off the ground. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I didn't know they like pine cones, but apparently they do. And she took them around to different bushes and different plants, and they nibbled and nibbled and nibbled. And
so Creating Essence has asked if they've stayed off the roof of the house.
They have not gotten back up there since.
No.
And they're about to get a remodel.
Yep.
And
We're
their
about to
home-
take down that winter house and put up their spring house. I need all that hay and straw for my gardens.
Yep, Rachel's
So-
going to Ruth Stout.
It
How
up.
many? Close to 40 bales of straw and hay are going to be reclaimed back from the goats, moved over to the pig paddock,
Yep.
the majority of it. And that will be one big giant Ruth Stout garden bed this year.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We did order some tarps for the goat pen. Mm-hmm. It's basically like a 4-wall dog kennel that sits with the roof panels that I built that sit on top of it. So we bought 3 tarps to cover 3 sides of the walls for them for the spring and the summer to keep the rain off of them. Those will be here in a few days.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an experiment again. I told Todd I was a little nervous come the heat of the summer because they're clear, that will it create a greenhouse effect in there and be just way too hot? He doesn't seem to think so we're going to try it out and see how it does. I mean, they're really cheap. What are they, $10 a tarp? So if it isn't an optimal situation, we can change it out. Hi, Carol from Ireland. Ireland is so on my bucket list to go to. Oh, I dream of going to Ireland.
Duncan 1900 is here. Karen, is that who you just said hi
Yeah,
to?
Carol.
Oh, Karen Cantrell.
I didn't see Karen. Hi, Karen. Hi, Falcon Farms. And Start from Seed Homestead said that they have loads of straw, manure, and just skirting from the coop under the snow from the chickens this winter. Cool.
Good gardening material.
Maybe add a fan. Maybe. He thinks that there's going to be a big enough gap at the top that, and a small enough gap at the bottom that maybe it'll create like a vent cycle, natural vent cycle through it. Hey, Runner Creek Farm.
We'll do a video on it when we set it all up.
Yeah.
Actually, we can film like removing the hay bales, how we moved the dog kennel, the goat house, set it back up, and installing the tarps, and see how it goes.
Hi, Farming Our Backyard. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're just talking about our day, enjoying the Michigan spring-like weather today, so it was really nice. Just don't forget what scene you're on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was one of the... I won't get into it, but I think I was on number 3. That's the one. Yep, taking the goats. If we're bounced through these scenes weird tonight, it's because I couldn't rename any of them, so we don't know what anything's called. It's just called Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3. So we'll do our best to try to keep it straight.
So Abigail said anyway that the goats got a good little snack all around the property, and they were finding their favorite things and eating on them, so that's super fun.
Hi, Runner Creek. Welcome.
Hey, Reynolds, Suburban Homestead, prepping for survival from Phoenix, Arizona. Nice. Welcome. Hey, Ed, how are you?
Do we need a mod? I don't know.
Yeah.
Two family might show up. If they don't,
yes, we do.
we do. I can usually keep a handle on things pretty well. Things get out of hand,
Hey, Square One Farms.
we'll pass out some boxing gloves to people.
Okay. So Todd
So-
wants to show you guys the tractor
Oh, yeah.
situation.
My tractor, when I put it away last fall, I had some issues with the fuel shutoff valve in the sediment bowl. Basically, the little on-off switch to turn off the fuel with the sediment bowl that sits underneath it was leaking everywhere. I basically had to crank on the shutoff valve with a wrench in order to get it closed enough that it didn't sit in my garage and leak fuel all winter. So I bought a new fuel shutoff valve, and I decided I need to get this thing up and running because we're going to be needing it here pretty darn quick. So started with draining all the fuel out of the tractor, because in order to remove that shutoff valve, it's attached to the bottom of the gas tank. So all the gas needs to be out of it. So I drained all the fuel off. This was the old shutoff valve that I removed from the bottom of the fuel tank.
And did you find anything wrong with it?
Nothing apparent.
Where was it leaking out of? Like that bottom little...
No, between... I'm trying to point. I'm trying to point to you and
Yeah,
point
I
to
know.
them at the same time. Between where like the top half and the glass part fit together, it's almost like that seal around there went bad. But it was also coming out where that little knob is at the bottom. So I think all the seals in it basically just went out.
So Runner Creek Farm said that they're from Michigan too. They're up in the Thumb area.
Oh,
So you're
sweet.
up by Lisa at Sutton's Days. She's up in the Thumb.
Yeah, she's Alpena area.
Oh, so north of the Thumb.
Yeah, north of the Thumb.
Okay.
But somebody's up in the Thumb. I'm trying to remember who.
I'm not sure.
Anyways, here's the new fuel shutoff valve with sediment bowl.
So Duncan 1900 said that they're available to mod if we want to.
Okay. Thank you. Looks like a lantern. Yeah, it kind of does. So the concept behind it, if you tip it this way, so the glass is at the bottom, the fuel basically comes in and then comes back out and then goes down into the carburetor. And that little glass bowl is basically, it's called a sediment bowl. So if there's any rust or particles of dirt in the tank, they'll collect in the bottom of that glass bowl before they go out to the carburetor. So it's basically like an extra filter.
Creating Essence said, machine stuff is fascinating. I know nothing about it. I always wonder how people learn it. I'm glad you appreciate it because I'm like, as soon as he starts talking about it.
What year is our tractor? 1948. Ford 8N. Also pulled the spark plugs while I was up in there. Cleaned them up really good. Checked the gap on them. They all seemed fine, so that was good. And put it all back together. And unfortunately, it's still kind of leaking.
Yeah. As bad as it was or not? I didn't get to see it.
It's the same spot between where the glass connects up into it. I think that seal around there is bad.
But that's a brand new one?
Yeah.
How can the seal already be bad?
I don't know.
Oh.
I got to look at it some more tomorrow.
Yeah.
By then, I was 2 or 3 hours into it, and she did fire up.
Are you talking in this? Or just running the tractor?
So started up pretty good. Ran good. It always runs great when you clean the spark plugs.
Changing Wind Farm said that they have a 49 8N.
Nice. It's a great machine.
Hiya, blessed wife. Welcome. And I don't think I got to say hi to Lazy Acres Farm. Jen Flowers, welcome. Yes, I can't keep up with the YouTube community. It's just blowing up. There's so many new channels.
It is.
Crazy. It's good, but it's just working full time and then running the farm too and doing our own YouTube channel. It's very, very hard. So I sneak an hour in the morning to participate in as many as I can. And then we usually get 30 minutes to an hour in the evening.
Cooler temps and temps warms up, it'll seal properly. I'm not exactly sure. There's a rubber seal. So there's the metal housing on top and a glass bulb that fits on the bottom, and there's a rubber seal that goes around there. I did a little bit of reading, and basically people were saying that that rubber seal that comes with it, throw it away and get a cork one. That the cork ones work better.
Oh, okay.
And Duncan 1900 has an 8N also.
And you sold your RV to buy it. That's cool. So I think, though, we're at the point that tractor's not going to be meeting our needs much more. It wasn't good enough to get us going. Very, very affordable option for people that need a tractor but can't go out and buy one. But we're looking for that next little upgrade. Not anything like a Kubota or anything like that, but maybe a older, newer Ford.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Something like the Ford, like 4000 series, 6000 series. I'm basically looking for two things in a tractor. One would be, there was a question there. One would be a little more horsepower. Mm-hmm. The Ford 8N will run about 23 horsepower. If I could get something around 30, a little more than 30 to run a brush hog a little more efficiently, that would be nice. A live PTO that's not tied to my wheels would be nice. And the big one is a front end loader.
Yeah.
And I know some people can get front end loaders for the 8N series but the front end of that tractor is really not designed to handle that much weight. So I'd really rather get a proper tractor that's designed from the ground up with a loader that wasn't an aftermarket type deal.
Right. Hey, Sammy Joe, welcome. So Creating Essence asked, where do I get my glasses? Just whatever eye doctor I happen to go to. I used to always go to Lens Crafters, and this time I went to the America's Best for my annual eye appointment. So I always just settle with whatever they have. And what's our next home project? We're in the middle of it. It's the stairway, so the contractor's coming Friday to get started on it. And I'm also in the middle of painting bunk beds for the guest bedroom. So as soon as one of them's going to come out before the other. I don't know which one. It just depends on timing. But the stairway, the guest bedroom, then if time allows, before it's full on 100% outdoor time, possibly the upstairs hallway, which are the very last space in the house that is original from when we purchased the house. But I don't know, that may not get done. We just started planning today. I was talking to my daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law and my son are coming home at the end of the month for a week, and she wants to help kind of get things ready for their reception. So we're going to plan on March 30th be an all-day clean up the farm day. So it's going to be like our big last push to do projects around outside. I've got a bunch of trees on order that need to be planted, things like that. Good night, Runner Creek Farm. I've never tried buying glasses online. I just have to try them on myself to feel comfortable with them. Duncan says he's up all night feeding his wood stove, so he's able to check in on YouTube channels.
Micro Farm Starter, welcome. I think Inside Kate's Kitchen said she had to run or something.
Okay.
I was trying to make sure she was okay. She said she had to run or something.
Well, she might have just had to go.
Yeah. But where did I leave off on our...
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far up. Spark plugs.
Plus tractors running.
So while he was doing all that, I was playing in the fruit forest. And this right here, guys, if you watched us at all last year, if you followed us on Instagram, you've seen this picture before. In my food forest, about the first week of April, gets covered in, what did they call it?
Is this a quiz?
No, I don't know what they're
You
called.
don't remember?
They look like...
Are they snow glories?
Snow glories, I think they're called. They're like this bright indigo blue, tiny little flower that's maybe 3 or 4 inches tall. But the entire area is just a carpet of them. And that's what this is. They're just popping up out of the ground. So that, guys, is truly the first sign of spring here on the property. Like our entire street will just be dead still, but you come to our house and there's the very first color on the entire street. So it's so fun.
Dark green with little blue flowers. We should have thrown in a picture of the way it was last year. Hi, Mindy. Welcome.
Hey, Mindy. Yes, so I was excited to see that. Of course, you feel bad because you're walking all around and you don't want to crush them. Whoops. But I also got the very first touches of spring on my porch. You guys know, if you watched our weekend in review, we finally just pulled down the Christmas garland last weekend and the Christmas lights. So I immediately got out there, took all the winter blankets down, threw up my spring blankets. Now I'm just ready for May, really, to get plants on the porch and stuff. But anyway, while he was working on...
So, FF Wife, those snow glories, they are bulbs. They're tiny little bulbs about the size of a dime.
Yep.
Some
they
of
look
them
like
are
little
about the
pearls.
size of a nickel, and they look like little...
Those little salad onions.
Pearl onions.
Yeah.
They're about that size.
Mm-hmm.
We've dug some up before, and we gave a bunch to my dad, and he planted them out in his woods back behind his house, and They transplant perfectly fine. You can buy them online at some garden supply websites where they
And I think
sell.
that they're a multiplying thing.
They will.
They just multiply and multiply. So stay tuned. We will definitely show you when they come up. You guys are just going to be floored. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Oh, and May apples cover the ground in the woods. Is that what they're called also? May apples? I don't know.
I've never heard of that term before.
Mm-mm. Well, that's very understandable that you still have Christmas decorations up. You take care of your family. Anyway, so I was saying that this is that food forest area that we've been telling you that we're working on clearing. And you can just see our neighbor's garage to the right. That is the last remaining section that has to be cleared. And so that pile, like right in the foreground of this picture, is the pile that I managed to clean today. And there is something that's growing in there. We don't know what it is. It is an awful, god-awful tree.
Oh, yeah.
Satan-awful tree. Definitely not god-awful. And it's got thorns, the worst thorns, all up and down this tree. And it grows all crookedy. And then it grows from its roots and forms a new tree. And it's everywhere in there. So,
we pulled up some of them last year.
Yeah.
And I started I cut it to the point where it was like this high to me. And I started grabbing the trunk and moving it because it was loose. And the trunk would be like down like this, underground, over to the next, and it goes up to the next tree.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all connected together. And they have these little nasty thorns.
They're not little. They're big thorns.
I got whacked on the head by it today. I thought I was going to have a mark from it.
Right. So here's, I think, a video. No, that's another picture. Where am I standing? Oh, I'm standing right at the front of it in the side yard. And oh my gosh, this looks like 1,000 times different. This was a thick, thick jungle. Now, can't you guys picture persimmon trees and plum trees and pear trees and currants and horseradish and rhubarb all filling that space? I can't wait. Yes, I cannot wait. Okay, good night, Sammy. I'm sorry you're buffering. That stinks. But here's a video. I'm going to just spin in a circle and show you the whole thing. It's not an Osage orange or a locust.
It's like one of those 360 videos.
Yeah. So there is a lot of lean to the trees. We are up somewhat on a hill. There's a lot of sand. Most of our property is sand. And the direction that they're leaning is from the westerly winds. So as they're young and their foundation is sand, a lot of them have that natural lean to it. Yes, I'm excited. So what's already in there? We mentioned this on a previous video. It was an Instagram or Facebook post. There's gooseberries in there, raspberries, rhubarb, elderberry from an edible perspective. Those are the only... And walnuts.
3 or 4 walnut trees.
Trees. And then there's some like serviceberry trees in there for pollinators. And thank you, Mindy. Yeah, the spring birds just made me so happy tonight. They were just calling and calling. Okay.
Duncan 1900 is Brenda.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Brenda. I don't know where we were.
I think that was 16 maybe.
Oh, really? So we only have a couple more?
I think.
Okay. Well, we still have other things to do. Okay. Then it was time to go check my pig garden, but I'll let you guys just listen to the birds. So, whose bright idea was it to turn that pig space into a garden? It is so underwater right now. So that is the area like right behind there where that's a big poplar grove. It's our future pond area because it holds so much water. I know it's a perfect pond space. I'm hot from working in the garden, working with the animals. I'm going to go dive in my future pond. Anyway, so that always floods up. All the pig rutting and stuff has created these huge swamp holes that someday, supposedly, I'm going to turn that into a garden this year. It's not looking very optimistic right now.
Plant rice in the pig
Right?
area.
I know. My gosh.
It's what type of walnut trees do we have? We have at least 10 black walnut
Yeah.
and 1 English walnut.
Yeah.
And some of the black walnuts, they'll range anywhere from about this big all the way to close to 2.5 feet in diameter at the base of the trunk. One might be 3 feet. It's huge.
Yeah, I would be fine with getting rid of some because they're just ankle twisters in the fall when they drop their...
That on that side yard last year, there was like 5 over there, and I think of the 5, 4 of them had walnuts last year, and it was a mess.
Yeah.
It was bad.
A cranberry bog, I know. Something. So that's why my plan is get in there, rake out the ruts, not rake out, but rake out the high spots and level out what I can. Bring all that hay and straw over from the surround of the goat house. I'm gonna create like raised beds all through there where the raised beds aren't, not raised beds, like just, I'm going to make bed shapes with the straw and the hay. And then in the rows, I'm gonna plant cover crop with the seed that I have. So as far as that goes. And then at the end of the season, hopefully we've got another pig that we can put in there and go back to work. Maybe.
Are you just going to wander in there?
Well, I think Homestead Dad will drop one off for us. We use black walnuts to dye fabrics. I could imagine that they'll do that very easily for you.
Dye your hands.
Yeah, they dye everything. Yes, I saw one of those wire basket rollers too. I've seen the big ones that you can put behind like a 4-wheeler or a tractor that do. What I did last year since we had the pigs, I just went around with feed bags and picked them all up and stored them in feed bags, and every day the pigs would get like a bag or 2 of walnuts. Yes. Everything hates black walnuts. Yeah. And if you've ever been so passionate about the excitement of owning black walnuts and getting to harvest all those, and it's really not enjoyable. It's not. It's a very hard nut to crack.
We'll probably get to take next year off, I think.
Yeah, I hope
'Cause
so.
last year, almost all of them nutted, so this year we should have less.
Chokeberries make great dye too. Good to know.
Hi, Redeemed Ranch. Welcome.
So I think we've got one more thing to show. I don't know what it is though. Oh, it's my what did I order from Stark Brothers. So I did cut out the prices just because I don't want anybody to gasp at me or show that to Todd. So I don't know. Can you guys see it though? Because it's so small to fit it all in. So I've never ever fed my strawberries. So I did buy some strawberry food, whatever that is, to see if it just doesn't help them. They're going in on their 3rd year, and I know that they'll start dwindling in their production. I bought an order of horseradish, and that's like 5 plants that's going to come. I'll tell you if anything's not for the food forest, other than if I don't say that, everything's for the food forest. This contender peach dwarf is for the orchard. It's going to be a backup for our peach that got damaged by the deer scrape. I got 2 beach plum dwarfs. And now these are kind of a bushy plum tree that you can either shape into a tree or you can let be a bush, and I want it to be more bushy. And those are going to be on 2 entry points into the food forest. I got 2 Hanson's bush cherries. That is a real pretty pink petal. And those are going to be 2 entry points into the food forest. I got a whole bunch of these cardinal flowers. If you guys haven't seen cardinal flowers, we have them in the wild here in Michigan. They are stunningly beautiful. In July is typically when they bloom. And they like damp soils. So that section of woods that is next to our neighbors that isn't quite clear, that is a low spot, and it stays pretty moist there. Like, we have a lot of natural moss and stuff that's growing there. I think that's going to be a good spot for those. So I'm going to put those, and I think that they'll spread if I understand them correctly. I have 2 Chicago hardy figs going in. The Benton Sweet Cherry is for the orchard. So I started a 3rd row last year. It just has 2 pecan trees and currants in it right now. So I'll be adding the peach tree and this Benton cherry, as well as this Emperor Francis cherry that's at the bottom. Those will fill out that final row in the orchard. And I got finally, I think it was Rose at Wholesome Roots told me why I wasn't getting kiwi is because I needed a male kiwi plant. So I ordered a male kiwi pollinator to
You can buy them as male and female?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Fix that solution. And then I got some more Red Lake currants for the inside the food forest. So yay!
Hi, Christine. Welcome.
So that is why we are having March 30th is going to be Pick Up the Farm Plant Day, because all of those trees will get delivered here, I think, like March 25th, and they'll have like a 5-day sit and acclimate time till we're ready to plant.
Very good. We need to come up with our plan.
Yeah, I know. So what I told Todd I want him to do is get the drone out there. I need a good overhead shot so I can like see it from overhead. Because I can stand in there, but everywhere I stand is a different spot. And then I'm like, I don't know where. Because I have to think about his mower pathways, and I still want it to be convenient for him. But then I want very clean, defined lines of like, I don't want it to be haphazard. I want it to look groomed. So that's it. Yes. We will be busy probably busy till like June-ish. And then hopefully just fun gardening stuff after that.
Yeah, and that tree that we were talking about earlier, a couple of people talked about being locust or different things. We'll make sure next week when we do our live show, we'll snap some pictures of that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
The bark is really light colored. It's almost like a
almost like silvery. It's
a smooth bark. It's kind of silver in color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I pointed it out to him. I said, see all those silver trees? Those are all those bad thorns ones that have to go.
Yeah. We tried to keep some last year. Because some of them kind of got blown down and it made this cool, like, arch.
It is really pretty.
But it kind of fell over the winter.
Yeah.
They're very weak tree, too.
Yeah, very weak tree.
Mountain cedar trees are male and female also. And it's obvious.
I love cutting the male trees down. Why? What happens when you do that? Lawnmowers hate rocks too. Only lawnmower I own is a goat, and that's her name. Stark Brothers is awesome. I've gotten a ton from them, and nothing has not been successful. Everything's been good. I think the only thing that I've ever been disappointed in, and it's just that some things you get are going to be small. And sometimes I think we're used to the instant gratification of like going to a big box store and you get like your gallon size container and it's already like this mature plant. But that's half the reason why they die, is because they haven't grown from a young plant to a mature plant in their native condition that they're going to be in. So they go through a huge shock. And like I got 2 yellow climbing roses last year from Stark Brothers. And, they were just like in little pint size, small containers. So
an app called Plant ID. I have one similar to that.
I think it was Plant ID.
I don't know if it's Plant ID or Plant Snap. And I've used it. We used it at our we had a lot of fun with it up north at our cabin, going around taking pictures of different ferns. Like there's one called really cool looking fern, and we snapped it, and it was called a maidenhair fern. And it's really, really intricate. It's not like a normal fern where you'll have like a branch come up and all these little things coming off. These ones come off and then more come off of that. So it's really cool looking. And it's a really good app too. I'll have to figure out what it's called. I want to say it's Plant Snap or something like that, but it could be Plant ID.
But it was like a free trial, so you could only do it so many times.
Yeah, you can only do like 10 plants per day or something unless you pay money and get the real version. Potted plants often suffer from being root bound.
Look what I got.
Oh, this is our sauerkraut.
First time ever. And tonight, it's been 3 days. So they said you could taste it after 3 days. So we're going to do that. Right here, right live. I don't like sauerkraut. Supposedly. But we're going to try it and see how it tastes.
You need something to put that pebble on?
Yeah. So it's got... Let me see if I can tip you guys down the camera. Can you see that? It's kind of got that cloudy look. Okay. Which I guess it's supposed to, so that's good. Do you prefer to bare root? Yeah, so yes. I'll tell you this time I did buy some Supreme Starts, though, which come in a pot. Just because I wanted to try them. But last time, everything I bought was bare root. Oh, dang it. I can't get it. I can't get the pebble out.
Mike was saying that he can't wait to look forward to some new shots of our cabin this year.
Yeah.
If you go to our YouTube channel page on YouTube. On the upper right-hand corner, there's what they call our, is it featured channels?
I don't know what it's called.
Whatever that. Well, there's a channel listed up there called Olive Sheep River Retreat. And about 2 or 3 years ago, at least a year before we started our homesteading YouTube channel, we started a channel where we made videos about wow, that smells strong. We made probably 4 videos of us adventuring at our cabin. So you can always check that channel out. There, like I said, there's probably 4 videos. I don't think there's any talking in any video ever. It's just us at the cabin. So it should get you by until we get back up there.
Okay. I don't know if I can do it.
It smells bad.
It doesn't smell bad. It smells like sauerkraut. So, okay, should I stir it or just like take a bite out? I don't know.
You do it first.
Okay. So I did put some like pickling spices at the bottom. Okay, I think I should turn around. Not bad.
Not bad.
Really, really salty. You should probably get it clean so we don't introduce any bacteria. Get your own. I'll get you a fork.
Okay. Adkins family, welcome. I wish we had smell TV. Yeah, it's like...
It doesn't smell bad.
No, it doesn't.
Don't be a wimp.
No, it really does. It smells like cabbage.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like sauerkraut.
So it's really super salty. Is that going to tone down or should I do something with it? I only put like, what'd they say? I don't remember.
Half a cup?
No. It was like small amount, like a teaspoon or a tablespoon or something like that. And
I won't put my fork back in.
yeah. What'd you think though? I mean, it's still very crunchy. I guess, how do you know when it's done? It might get less salty the longer it sits, okay? How do you know when it's done? Just when you like it?
It doesn't taste like sauerkraut.
It doesn't taste like sauerkraut.
It tastes like salty coleslaw.
Yeah.
I don't think it's done.
So Christina always chirping says it'll tone down. Look, for a beginner, isn't that a nice, lovely cabbage leaf I'm setting on top of it before I put my pebble in to keep all the gunk out?
It's not a bad flavor. The saltiness hits you right when you first put it in your mouth. Mm-hmm. But then it kind of goes away and the cabbage kind of takes over and you get a little bit of vinegar, which is why I said it reminds me of coleslaw because it's not as tangy as sauerkraut is yet.
Yeah.
In gallon jars and you wait a month?
Wait a month. Wow. Okay. Pebbles back in. We're sealing this bad boy back up.
Yeah, that needs to cook longer.
Okay. Okay.
They do 7 to 14 days.
Okay.
You can rinse
It was still crunchy. Could you not hear me crunch it? It was still crunchy.
Fry it in an iron skillet with bacon grease and sausages.
That might be good. Oh, you can rinse it clean in water. But wouldn't that get rid of all the good stuff that's good for you if you washed it? So they stop when it's 10 days and put it in the fridge.
That's not bad. That really
Okay.
tastes like coleslaw still.
They said, yeah, it's too early still. Okay.
Well, the book we were reading said 3 to 5 days, didn't it?
Well, when you start tasting it. Taste it at 3, taste it at 5, and then just stop when you're done. Most people are saying like 10 days. If the saltiness doesn't tone down, then you might want to add a spice to counteract the saltiness. Okay. All right.
Hi, Mitt and Dad. Welcome. Are you from Michigan?
Yep, he says from Michigan here as well.
Oh, cool. Yep, we are Michigan southeast, way down, almost as southeast as you can get.
Okay. Well, I wanted to try it. It seems like everybody eats sauerkraut that's in our little community, and yeah, so it is colder too in our house. We don't keep it very warm, and the cabinet that it's in is in the pantry, and that's not a very insulated area of the house. So
we
it could
should
be
move it
slower.
out here?
Well, it's supposed to be in a dark space though.
Oh. Google says 20 days for sauerkraut.
Okay.
Mitt and Dad is from the Kalamazoo area.
Nice. So you're by Part-Time Permies. They're out there in near Kalamazoo. I did stick with the recipe. I didn't mess with it.
How much was that cabbage?
$2.
It was like that big. So $2, we get
Yeah.
a whole jar of sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
Looking to rename the channel to a more outdoors oriented. But I like the Mitt and Dad. That's fun. I never liked sauerkraut until I made my own. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give it a chance.
Yeah.
So, Mindy, we are savoring like the last couple beets in the jar. Like, I think both of us are refusing to eat them because that means that they're gone. But that's what convinced me to try it, because I did not like pickled beets until I ate Mindy's. And oh my gosh, they were so good. And I thought, well, maybe it's the same thing with sauerkraut. And I don't like conventional sauerkraut, but I really like homemade sauerkraut.
Yeah, we did a little gift exchange with Mindy from Life Goes North this year. We sent her some honey, and she sent us some pickled beets.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this year we'll successfully grow beets of our own.
Yes, I sure hope so.
Mayo Mountain cedar trees.
So Ronnie said they love it if it's covered in barbecue pulled pork. I think I would like it that way too.
Cedar fever. I've never heard of such a thing. We don't have a lot of cedar trees around here in Michigan. I think if we go way north, you might find some, but even at our cabin, we don't have much cedar at all. We have a lot of hemlock, which is from the cedar family, but there might be one or two cedar trees up there, but not much.
Definitely do black garlic, Christine. You're not going to regret it. It is amazing. It's just more of we haven't fully built the habit to use it all the time when we cook. Like, you still reach for your regular garlic before you go and grab black garlic.
For certain things, yeah, it's because it's a different flavor profile.
It is. But I think that we could always play with
I think
recipes.
I need to eat more of it to learn that flavor profile to have a better determination of what it would go good with.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do it again with you, Mindy. Let me see what I can come up with this year that's worthy of your beets. Maybe I'll send you some Michigan cherry jam. How does that sound?
We'll send her some sauerkraut.
I'll send you some Michigan cherry jam. From cherries from my tree.
We do have good cherries on our
Good
cherry
cherries. Jess, you're going to love it. I'm telling you guys. And it's so easy to do. Just don't do it in your house. Do it in your garage or somewhere outside. Like, don't cook that stuff in your house.
Yep, get yourself one of them little rice cookers that has the warm option. Toss it in, hit that warm button, put it in your shed for about 2 weeks. That's all you got to do.
So Creating Essence said they just toss their kraut at the end of cooking up their home fries, breakfast potatoes, and it's really good. Would be a fun ad. Would it not kill like all the beneficial like goodness stuff for you that is in a fermented food by cooking it? I might be overthinking it completely. I don't know.
Yeah, Mitten Dad said his place used to be an old stagecoach stop.
That's cool. Yes, Mitten Dad, come to the Hootenanny.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
So that must put your homestead to be pretty old.
He said it was in 1860s.
Okay.
Yeah. Ours is 1876, we think. Prickly pear jelly, that sounds fun.
That would be made from cactuses, right?
Yep. She said it doesn't kill the goodness in the kraut if you just warm it. Okay. Yep, so I'm just learning about fermenting stuff. It's kind of like, I never participated in that collab, like what skill do I want to learn this year? Because I'm not fully committed to it just because I don't have a lot of time, but it is a skill I want to develop over the rest of my lifetime that I'd like to get good at. All things fermentation. What is the Hootenanny? Go check out Pratt Family Homestead. Just Google them. Pratt Family Homestead, Michigan Hootenanny. I think Todd might try to throw up a link for you in the chat. It is the best time in the whole wide world. Just like every homestead gathering is. But if you saw anything like the Deep South Homestead Gathering, something similar to that, but it's just all the Michigan folks. Not Michigan. Most of the Michigan folks are going to be there, but people from all over are coming. The Aldermans are coming. 180 Degrees from Average is coming. Life in the Farmland's coming. Dan from Grass-Fed Homestead's coming. Tangi and Jack from Freedom Homestead is coming. So a lot of people are coming that aren't from Michigan. And a lot of people are coming that don't have YouTube channels. So a lot of people are coming to hang out together for at least one day. So the Hootenanny's on one day, but it's at a campground, so you can camp all weekend long and hang out together for the whole weekend. And really all we do is we have a bunch of food there and we hang out.
Well, there's going to be some demonstrations. You're going to be demonstrating this year.
Yeah, but that's new this year. Like in the past, it's literally been just let's hang out together. And there was like giveaways and stuff like raffle tickets. And the campground's amazing. There's so much fun stuff for the kids to do. There's like zip lines and a pond and kayaking and fishing, and it's just so fun.
I just linked the video that we shot last year from when we were there. It shows you kind of the surrounding area and who's there and what we ate. And
yeah, a 15-hour road trip with 5 little ones would be tough for just a weekend. I get that.
Valerie, you're going to be there again. Sweet.
Awesome, Valerie. I can't wait to hug your neck.
Why'd I end up with a squeaky chair?
I don't know.
I need to switch that next week.
I just don't move. You're such a fidgeter.
I'm a big fidgeter. Oh, they've been to that campground many times.
Oh, really cool. It's a great one. She's a tuber too. Awesome. Okay, well, it is good night time. Hope you guys had fun hanging out with us and seeing what we're up to. It's going to become more and more of that and less inside, because once that warm weather's in here, like he couldn't even find me today at one point. He came in the house looking for me. He was walking all around the property looking for me. He finally found me bent down by the cherry tree cutting suckers off of it. But I can't come in when it's warm outside. It's unless it's too hot. If it's too hot, it's miserable.
I don't deal well with the super hot. But yeah, it's going to be weird transitioning from, we've been in for how many months now? 4 months of indoor video shooting to transition back to outdoor video shooting and outdoor projects and remembering to bring the camera out with us. And
Yeah.
it's going to be challenging, but we're going to do better this year than we did last year.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I will be at the Homesteaders of America conference too. And one of us will have to come out of our introvert shell and approach each other, because just put on a Creating Essence shirt and I'll have my 1870s Homestead shirt. And we don't have to say anything. We can just hug each other because, that was tough for me too last year. Okay, you guys have a super great week. What do we have coming up? Costco haul video is coming up tomorrow, I think. I'm done with my part. You just have to do your final.
I have to finish it. I should have did that today instead of playing outside.
It may come out later tomorrow, but it'll come out tomorrow. So it's my first ever big grocery shop at Costco. If you guys remember last time, I just wanted to see what Costco was all about, and I was way overwhelmed, and I only picked up a few things. This time I did my best to do some damage there. And then we have something else. I don't know what.
Oh, or homemade dog treats.
Oh, yeah, the homemade dog treats.
Check out Facebook to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yes.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon in a video, and we'll see you here live next week on Tuesday.
Yes.
And that's all we got. I close this way slower than everybody else. It seems like everybody else goes, okay, bye, click, and they're done.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just slow.
You are very
Good
slow.
night, guys.